and welcome to Sport Africa, our weekly program fully devoted to African sport. I'm Celestine Caronay, and in this week's program, you may think of Maracana as one of the world's most famous stadiums, but in Ivory Coast, the name is a game the locals are passionate about. A footballer and a boxer, Zambia's Barbara Banda is not your typical sportswoman. From losing a leg to captaining Nigeria, we hear the journey of a Special Eagle captain, Emmanuel Ibewuchi.
Football is my career. I've seen that vision.
A hurdler with a soft spot for Nigerian music gets to know more about Karel Ziketh. And a master takes on his student in the battle to be crowned this week's armchair expert. Thank you for joining us on BBC Sport Africa, coming to you from Nairobi. Now, rugby has various versions of the game. There's a 15-a-side, sevens, and football is no different. There's not only regular football, there's a futsal, beach soccer, and have you ever heard of Maracana? No, I'm not talking about the famous stadium in Rio de Janeiro. In football crazy Ivory Coast, they have come up with a 6-a-side version of a football nicknamed Maracana, and they want it to go global. Check this out.
In Ivory Coast, there is a big craze for a small football. It's known as Maracana. What was once an obsession in Abidjan has now gone international with the annual African Cup of Nations, known as the Marek CAN.
Maracana is at the heart of Ivory Coast decision makers and also its people. In 2012, we launched the first edition of the Africa Cup of Nations with 5 countries: Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo, Niger, and Burkina Faso. We now have 15 countries taking part.
Ivory Coast is the beating heart of Maracana. Charlemagne says there are 28 leagues, 90 clubs, 18,000 registered players, and nearly 5 million people who play the game in Ivory Coast. That's around a fifth of the population. So how on earth did it become so popular?
The first Ivorian president, Félix Houphouët-Boigny, sent some students to Brazil. They went into the mythical Maracana Stadium. People were playing 6-a-side there, and the students joined in. When they came back to Ivory Coast after their studies, they introduced the game to the university campus.
And so Maracana was born. Now the game is popular across much of Francophone Africa, who provided nearly all the teams at last month's Maracana. So how do you play it? It's 6-a-side with no goalkeeper and played with a ball that is smaller and lighter than a normal football. The goals are smaller too, and crucially, you can only score within 6 meters of the goal. The tight space means your technique has to be very good.
You have to learn juggling, how to control the ball, how to cushion it. You have to be able to control the ball with every part of your body. The key is to have good control. After playing Maracana, you can express yourself better in normal football. That's what the Brazilians did, which is why they were a level above the world for many years, because they started playing indoors first before ending up in big stadiums.
Ivory Coast dominate the sport and have won the last 5 continental competitions, including last month's Maracana in Abidjan.
It's a commitment that was first in Africa, but which is now more and more international. We have citizens from 4 continents here: Africa, Europe, America, and Asia. This was not a given for a sport that has only had 3 years international existence.
And this African creation is certainly spreading beyond its shores. France and Canada had teams in Abidjan last month, and in 2 years' time, the first ever Maracana World Cup will take place in Canada.
Pour des raisons diverses, on a beaucoup d'Ivoiriens.
For various reasons, we have lots of Ivorians who came to Canada, mostly to work.
On a commencé à jouer là-bas, on crée un club.
They began playing and created the Maracana Club, Ivory Foot Montréal. Today we have a sizable community, especially among immigrants, who play Maracana and have formed clubs.
On a même un club qui est fait.
One club is exclusively made of white people. We continue to promote the game so that it's really well known.
The first World Cup in Canada? I promise you that we'll go get it.
Maracana unites people, it's friendship, brotherhood, warmth. It brings people together, whether they are Chinese, American. Come to Maracana, it's good.
Fascinating stuff. I must admit to having never heard of the game. The World Cup should be very interesting. Now, what happens when a master goes up against his student? Well, we find out in this week's Armchair Expert, the quiz where we put your sports knowledge to the test. Over to this week's referee, Lynn Washira.
A warm welcome to this week's Armchair Expert. Let's meet the contestants.
My name is Hassan Ibrahim. I'm a journalist and a nomad.
My name is Hesbon Hansen Ochieng. I'm a university lecturer and an Arsenal fan.
Wow, what a contest. This is promising to be a university lecturer against his former student. But first, let's have a look at the rules of round one.
Round one. It's simple. 30 seconds each to answer as many questions as possible on what's going on in the sporting week.
This week, we're looking at the FIFA Best Awards, athletics and European football. And that's where all the questions will be drawn from. Contestants, are you ready?
Yes. Ready.
Hassan, you're player one, and your 30 seconds start now. Who won the 2018 FIFA Women's Player of the Year?
Mata.
Correct. Which award did Renat Thai win at the Best FIFA Awards?
Pass.
FIFA Fair Play Award. Who won the 2018 Best FIFA Men's Coach Award?
Didier Deschamps.
Correct. Which country had their fans voted for the 2018 FIFA Fan Award?
Peru.
Correct. Who is the male winner of the 2018 Berlin Marathon?
Eliud Kipchoge.
Correct. What time to the nearest minute did Eliud Kipchoge post to break the marathon world record? 2:01 or 2:02?
2:01.
Correct. Which team had a 100% record after 6 EPL matches this season?
Chelsea.
Wrong. Liverpool. Name the African nominated for the 2018 FIFA Best Player.
Mo Salah.
Correct. And Hassan, your time is up right there. You've gotten yourself 6 points. And Hesbon, your player number 2, do you think you can top that?
I'm ready.
Your 30 seconds start now. Who won the 2018 FIFA Best Male Player?
Luka Modric.
Who was correct? Who was named the 2018 Best FIFA Goalkeeper?
David De Gea.
Wrong. Thibaut Courtois. Which team does 2018 FIFA Best Women's Coach Reynard Pedro's coach? Lyon, Marseille or PSG?
PSG.
Wrong. Lyon's women team. Who is the female winner of the 2018 Berlin Marathon?
Eliud Kipchoge.
Wrong. Gladys Cherono. Which record did Gladys Cherono break in Berlin? Course record or world record?
Course record.
Correct. And Hesbon, your time is up. You've gotten yourself 2 points there. Let's have a look at how the scores look after round one. It's no competition, and Hassan is mashing it with 6 points against Hesbon's 2 points. Can Hesbon catch us on round 2 and 3?
The student giving his teacher a run for his money. But stick around to know how the next rounds go. Now, just imagine losing a limb, but having the determination to make it in sport. Many of these heroes do. And this week, the Amputee World Cup will feature plenty of them as it kicks off in Mexico.
I saw myself with one leg. I thought all is gone. Where will I start? What will I do? How will I live? My name is Emmanuel Ibeauchi, the captain of Amputee Football of Nigeria. I had an accident a very long time ago, 18 years, 19 years now. I was traveling to Lagos. The vehicle got an accident. That was where I lost my foot. The foot cut off instantly. When I came into this national stadium, That was how I met hope. I saw hope in me. I see, there are people like me now, they can do something. Being a strong man I am, I believe I can do better than that. I believe in Nigeria now, there is no sport that I joined that I don't excel in it. Football is football. Whether one leg, two leg, football is football. I do a conductor work for a living. I have a friend of mine called me, guy, come and work. Then I will conduct for him. At the end of the day, he give me money. I use it to maintain myself. This is what I do after training. This is what I do for a living. I can't beg, no, God forbid. That is why I choose doing that conductor work. When people see me, they credit me. When I'm working, the last man, the police, when they see me, they'll say, guy, well done, well done, well done. When I'm doing it, I enjoy it. Football is my career. I've seen that vision. Oh yeah, let's go, yeah. I hope to play a profession. I have a friend of mine, he's one of our team here, he plays in Poland. He's also one of us, he's coming to play for Nigeria. We have a friend of us, he plays in Chelsea, now he's in Arsenal, amputee football. So they play it all over the world, they play it all countries, all clubs. So I hope to play a club side over there.
One side to play, let's go on another side.
This is Special Eagle. We are Special Eagles of Nigeria, and the Super Eagles are Super Eagles. So we are the strongest in the world.
What a journey the Special Eagles have had. We do wish them all the best. That's it for part one. When we return, we tell you about a Zambian striker who knows how to fight her corner. Welcome back to BBC Sport Africa. I'm Celestine Caronay. Next month, Zambia's women's football team, Chipolo Polo, will compete in their third Africa Cup of Nations, only their second in 2 decades. One player expected to help bang in the goals will be Barbara Banda. We've been to meet the 18-year-old who is believed to be on Arsenal's radar and who, as you'll discover, packs quite a punch. Now, I wonder what I might mean by that.
My name is Barbara Banda. I play for Zambia Women National Soccer Team. I started playing football on this pitch and by then I had no boots. It wasn't nice as for me, seeing my friends putting on boots and me, I was playing barefooted. I normally used to watch women's football, so I got inspired by some other teams around the world. I went into football to change my life because just sitting in the compound, at times, it brings some other problem with us girls. You get into some other abuse of starting drinking beer.
When she was my player at the under-17, what stood out for me as a coach was her determination. Because there was a game where she was injured, but she just said, I'm going to ignore the pain. I'm going to push that play for my country. And she played very well in that game.
There's this female boxer here in Zambia, Catherine Pili. I used to watch her, so I got inspired from her and had to go and join boxing. I started training as an amateur. By then, the amateur boxers, they started refusing fighting with me because I had no rules in amateur boxing.
In African culture, it was actually taboo for girl children to play football, even worse, boxing. But of late, it has become, parents are even urging their children to do that. I think it's the drive in her that makes her do both sports, and she does both of them well.
The reason I backed Barbara to doing boxing and football is because sport is good for young people. Girls in the community lack sports activities. Most of the girls are drinking beer and are found in clubs. I have watched her a number of times and the goals she has scored. She has made me and the community proud.
The most thing I like about boxing, it's a disciplined sport. You can fight, there is nothing like you hate each other. When the fight has finished, you still become friends. Actually here, in the compound, it's more like I'm a role model to them. Whenever they see me, they're always happy with what I do, and they try to get closer to me so that they know what really I do, so that even them, they can get inspired.
Personally, I've got a niece who's 14. She says, I want to be like Barbara when I grow up. Because Barbara for them is a hero. She's a shining example of how a young girl should behave.
I have to think about it because I love both sports. But mostly I can go for football because boxing is just a short career. When you take too much into boxing, you may end up damaging your brain. I think football will take me somewhere else. I just have to concentrate in whatever I do, and I think I'll go very far.
What a lady. She seems to be having the best of the two sporting worlds. Now, time to find out if Hesbon can change his fortunes in the second round of our quiz, Armchair Expert.
It is Hassan on 6 points and Hesbon on 2 points. Let's go straight into round 2. It's called Convince Me, and here is how it works.
Round 2, Convince Me. You each have 15 seconds to argue for or against. 2 points are up for grabs.
And straight to the week's topic, where the 2018 FIFPro World 11 had the best players in Europe. Hassan, you are for the motion. Convince Me, your 15 seconds start now.
I agree. If you look at the best players that came from Europe were Luka Modric, Antoine Griezmann, and the best young player was Mbappe. And the teams that played in the final were 2 European nations.
And it seems you are way ahead of your time, Hassan. They are making your points, and your time is up. Hesbon, it's your 15 seconds starting now. Convince me.
I think I disagree with the lineup. You look at it, it's more European than anything else. They can as well call it the European best 11. Only 3 non-European players. Then secondly, you have Antoine Griezmann and Mo Salah out of the best 11 players in Africa.
Both of you making very valid points, but I think the player who has convinced me more is Hesbon, and that means that Hesbon, you get 2 points from this round, and let's have a look at what that has done to the scores. It's Hesbon on 4 points and Hassan on 6 points at the end of round 2. Catch us on round 3 later on in the show.
Join us later to find out who gets to sit on the throne. But first, let's get to know more about Ivorian hurdler Karel Ziketh. The 27-year-old talks hurdling tips, food, and has soft spot for Nigerian music.
I'm a crazy person. I like to laugh. I'm silly, and I'm never serious. Never, never, never. To become the best Ivorian athlete as a hurdler, and be a great athlete like my elders like Talu and Noel Aure. You have to be disciplined and be patient. Drogba! DJ Drogba! I don't know how to sing, I can't sing. Davido, fire, fire, fried plantain and fish and a chicken. Ivory Coast, Abidjan. Everybody loves Ivory Coast, so I just love to be Ivorian. I don't know, like, I don't have any regrets. I do everything 100%, and that's it. The Bible, no water, because I know God will provide for me. My mom, I just want to be like her when I grow up, because mothers are all strong. Until you like 100%, just live your life.
If I'm stuck in a desert, I'd be thinking 2 things, heat and thirst. So probably it would be a choice between a parasol or water. But I wonder what you would take with you. Now, it's a 2-point contest in the battle for that big yellow chair. Let's find out who will be crowned this week's armchair expert.
It's Hassan on 6 points and Hesbon on 4 points. This is the third and final round, and here are the rules.
Round 3, the quickfire decider. 45 seconds to push up your score. Remember, shout your name before you answer or you'll lose out.
And well, your 45 seconds are just about to start. Are you guys ready?
You're ready.
Here we go. Time starts now. What does TKO stand for in boxing?
Technical knockout.
Hesbon, technical knockout.
Correct. Trofeo Pichichi is awarded to the top goal scorer of each La Liga season. True or false?
True.
Correct. What nationality is tennis star Simona Halep?
Hesbon, German.
Hassan, pass.
Romania. What does UEFA stand for?
Hassan, European
Hesbon, European Union of Football Federations.
Wrong. Union of European Football Associations. Shujaa refers to which Kenyan sports team?
Hassan,
Hesbon.
rugby.
Hesbon, Sevens.
Correct. 3 goals scored by the same player in a single game is called?
Hesbon, hat-trick.
Correct. What is the short pass made with the heel called?
Backheel.
Backheel.
Hesbon, backheel.
Correct. And looks like each one of you kept on looking at the other to see if he has the answer and
and got the name wrong.
And got the name wrong. But it's been pretty exciting. You right there, Hesbon trying to close in, coming into this final round, trailing Hassan. And it's Hassan earning himself 1 point on this round and Hesbon 4 points on this final round. Let's have a look at what that has done to the scores. That has been fire, but there has to be a winner. And it's Hassan on 7 points and Hesbon on 8 points. And that means, Hesbon, you're this week's BBC Sport Africa armchair expert. Please come have a taste of the throne. Congratulations, Hesbon. And I'm just wondering, how do you feel, beating your former students?
Well, I think it should have been embarrassing to lose to my former student, and I think Hassan fell into the trap. He was giving me the answers, I was mentioning my name, and giving the right answer.
Congratulations again, and what an episode that has been. See you next week.
Congratulations, Hesbon, for edging out your former student. And we are out of time, but remember, you can get in touch with us about anything you may have seen on the show via Facebook or Twitter. You can also visit our BBC Sport Africa page in case you may have missed anything. Thank you for watching. I'm Celestine Caronet. Until next time, goodbye.